guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a very strange vlog. So it starts out with a small holiday, then it goes into a bit of like my birthday, but no real like explanation of like what I'm doing or where I'm going. It's just vlog footage. The one book I read while I was on holiday, to then another 3 books that I read, and 1 DNF. Yeah, so if you want to skip the random vlog, I'll put the time up and you can just skip to there. But yeah, I don't really intro the video, so I just thought I'd add this in later on. I was a mess. I have no idea what I was doing. I hope you enjoy the video. I'll just jump into the next footage, which is me basically in a car heading down south. So yeah, enjoy.
Oh, fuck, bang. Oh, chill out.
Cheesecake?
Say hi, T.
Hey. We're in Cornwall. Oh, you're fine. We're in Cornwall right now. Gambling. Should be fun.
Hi. What's the day today?
January 1st.
2023.
4? 4. 4?
Kidding.
Yeah.
We are out on a walk today, and then we're going home and reading books. That's it. We're having a relaxing day for my birthday because nothing's open. Woohoo. The joys of having a birthday on a public holiday. And we just had
Like
Subway for lunch.
The biggest public holiday there is.
But yeah, and then we go home and play my record player, which I've got at home. I'll show you. Start Throne of Glass because I finished Assassin's Blade yesterday.
I didn't think I was going to be able to stop going down the
I
hill.
thought you were gonna fall when you were coming. There's nothing she can do about it. Hey, hey, she's an angel. Why don't you tell me all the clip out? Hey guys, we're back from York. So I just wanted to check in because I probably haven't sat down and like talked to you guys since I started this vlog, but basically we went to Cornwall for Christmas. We had so much drama getting down there. We had our car breakdown, we had to hire a car and go down the following day instead, so we lost basically almost a day because it takes about 6 hours to get there from my house. Then we arrived at like 7 p.m. that night the following day, and then we spent one full day in Cornwall and then left the following days. Had a bit of a slow start to the holiday there. It was really nice there, but it was just wet and windy, which we were sort of expecting because we did read the weather before we went down. And yeah, it was nice though. Had a late Christmas together and then came back. After the 6-hour drive, we were a bit tired, so then we decided to drop the car off the next morning for the hire car. Dropped the car off, which then by the time we'd finally got back after doing all that, it was about midday because we did sort of sleep in a bit. Yeah, we just hung around locally, then came back and I read books. I spent my birthday with tea, went for the walk with the dog as you've seen, and it's just been super relaxing, which I've been so happy. I feel like it's just been like a good start to the new year. And I just have really good energy going into this new year. I feel very like motivated and I feel very positive and happy. I don't know why. On the 2nd, which is today now, we've just been to York. Me and T spent basically the whole day there. We didn't check the weather before we went, so we had weather warnings. When we were arriving there, we were listening to the radio. I don't know which station it was, but they were just like, yeah, there's flood warnings and flash flood warnings for the entire Yorkshire, and I was like, oh lovely, I'm just about to roll into York. And as we were driving through, we just noticed that all of the rivers everywhere were just overflowing like crazy, so there's just been so much rain here at the moment. Yeah, I think it's just been England. Oh, scared me.
Oh, what up, dog?
Oh my god, I was just explaining what we're doing. It may be like an hour and a half later since that last clip. The camera died and I've had it been charging, and I've just uploaded a YouTube video and I've just got really distracted. I have no idea. After T scared me and walked in that door, I have no idea what I was talking about. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that today was nice. All I've read is Assassin's Blade, which I don't know if I gave an actual review for that. I finished Assassin's Blade on the 31st. It was 5 short novellas, and it was like the setting up, the prequel, not the prequel, sorry. It was the novellas before Throne of Glass. I've now just picked up Throne of Glass. I think I'm gonna go straight into it tonight. Just continue and keep myself in the momentum so that, you know, I don't forget about the series. Assassin's Blade, I'm a bit unsure about when I'm gonna rate it. And I think because it's so many short novellas, and I feel like a lot of it was quite predictable. I mean, I guessed what was gonna happen at the end. I guessed quite a few things that were gonna happen throughout, and that was what just sort of made me was like, it made me just like not too excited for the series, even though it was a good setup for what I'm going into, and I'm kind of intrigued to see how she is going to survive the king and getting out of his prison, etc. But should have probably put a mini spoiler there, but I mean, that's the start of Throne of Glass, so yeah, I'm feeling like I might just give it a 3-star because it is novellas, and I don't want to be too dramatic and be like, oh my god, this was the greatest book ever, because it really wasn't. Yeah, all I know is that she wrote this book 4th, I believe, in publishing order, so her writing is going to be better than Throne of Glass, which is now what's sort of like deterring me a little bit, but I'm just like, I need to push through because I know that she started this series quite young, so I think she was maybe, I feel like it was honestly like 16 or something. She started writing it, but it didn't publish until maybe she was after 18. I don't know. I could be making this all up, but I swear that Throne of Glass was the first ever book she completely started putting all her effort into, and that's why she was so young when she started it. I've heard that the writing is a little bit and that it gets better with time, so I'm like, I did enjoy the writing in Assassin's Blade. It wasn't like anything that stood out to me, it was just the plot points were very predictable. So yeah, now I'm just gonna go on to Throne of Glass, hope for the best. Hopefully I don't notice anything too bad with her writing. So I mean, I've read some pretty atrocious stuff in my time, so I'm sure it's not as bad as some of the things I've read. So if the series is that beloved, I'm sure a lot of people have got through the first book fine, so I don't think it'd be that bad. Like, I've been so used to reading romanticities that I've just not really had like a full-fledged fantasy book in such a while that at first it was very hard to concentrate and stay focused on like what was happening. As it went on, I really was just enjoying the ride, enjoying the story, and enjoying meeting all the new characters, which was probably my favorite part about it. Yeah, you can see my eyeballs are starting to droop because I'm tired. I'm gonna go take off my makeup now, refresh, get in my PJs, sit in bed, and start this book. I'm excited. I don't know what this vlog's actually gonna be yet, but I feel like it's just gonna be read with me for the week. We're gonna make this up as we go. I don't even know. I don't think I've got anything exciting happening besides me getting my life back on track. It's the new year. I got gym routines. I have gym clothes arriving in the mail because I'm gonna be one of those girls who is back in the gym. It is the 2nd of January. The 3rd of January, I am back in the gym. I'm gonna be a fitness girly. No, I'm not gonna do that. I was about to say I'm gonna do 75 hard, but I'm not gonna do that. Maybe I'll do like 75 soft. I'm gonna be a fitness girly again this year. My 2024 goal for the year, the main goal that I have is to run 5 kilometers, and last year I got up to 3 kilometers straight. One day I'm pretty sure I did actually run quite a fair distance, but I just, like, you know when you think it's 5Ks but you don't, like, I don't think it actually was, so I'm not going to count it because I didn't actually track it. So this year I need to build up my running again because it's been maybe like 3 or 4 months since I've done a run, and I just want to get back out there. Anyway, I need to wash my face. Bye. Stop distracting me. Makeup is off. My hair's tied up weirdly since I've done it, so don't judge me. Don't judge me. Throne of Glass. Why am I holding it so weird? I'm gonna start it. Do you know what? I feel like starting a fantasy book, you always obviously struggle to pronounce all of the places and all of the people's names. I feel like I've got like a way that I'm saying them in my head, but I can't voice them yet. I feel like I need to read them a few more times on page. I don't know if I want to like search up like how to pronounce things just yet, in case I watch a video and it might spoil something for me. Like I don't want to risk it. So I feel like I'm gonna continue the series, maybe work on like my pronunciation of like what I think it's gonna sound like when you're like the fantasy world's all new, like you just know you're pronouncing everything wrong. My skin looks really good, but it does not look like this in person. I'm actually, oh, you can see it breaking out a little bit. As I say, I've got like breakouts everywhere, and I've struggled with, I don't know if it's hormonal acne or bacterial acne. Like I'm trying to figure that out myself, but I feel like it's just beyond my brain knowledge. I need to go to like an esthetician or a dermatologist, whichever one it is, for them to tell me like which one I have and like how to fix it, because I'm 27 years old. I have no money and no prospects. I'm already a burden to my family and I'm frightened, you know? Like I shouldn't be having acne at 27. Anyway, I don't know why I've just gone on this big tangent about my skin. Like you guys do not care. Okay, it's been like 2 days. Actually, no, that's a lie. Maybe like 24 hours, but technically it's been like a 2-day. Does that even make sense? Basically, I read hardly anything yesterday and I got up to chapter 4. I feel like I just need to push through for like the next 100 pages, which is what I'm going to try to do tonight, so at least it gets a bit more interesting. I'm not going to stop reading until I get to at least page. I was going to say 100, but I'm going to push myself and say 150. Let's do this. The foreshadowing. But Dorian, tall, toned and elegant, bore no resemblance to his father, and there was a matter of Dorian's sapphire eyes. Not even his mother had his eyes. No one knew where they came from. Is he Faye? Who the fuck was gonna tell me that there was love notes in here and that he reads books? And he gave her 7 books from his own collection and commanded her to read them before she could read any of the other books in the library. Yes, Your Highness. You guys know I'm a sucker for love notes. They're not really love notes, but they're passing notes, and I love notes. Notes is kind of a weird word when you say it out loud, isn't it? Notes. Intrusive thought of the day. There you go. Good morning. I look like shit. Yes, I know. Okay. I am not going to show the world this. That is terrible. Anyway, this is real. This is the real me in the morning. That works. Does it? No. Okay, you're leaning against my dog. This is not gonna work. I got up to page 124. Chapter 17. Things are starting to get good. I feel like Sarah J. Maas is trying to like give us a little love triangle between the captain of the Royal Guard and Dorian, who's the prince. I feel like that's what's trying to be set up. I don't know the captain's name and I know Dorian, so maybe things have been spoiled without me realizing. God damn it. It's definitely picking up pace now. I'm not like feeling like it's a like a burden to be reading it, if that makes sense. I feel like sometimes when you start a fantasy book it can feel like a bit of a burden, but now it's sort of getting to that point where I'm like, oh, this is all like a lot easier for my brain to comprehend and understand what's happening. Hopefully by next book, when I jump straight into it, it'll just flow a lot easier and I can take on like the rest of the series a bit more. I'm probably just gonna have my coffee this morning, read probably maybe another 100 pages. Why do I look so... I just look weird. There's been comment about the eyes again, but not for him, but for her. Are they both Fae? Is that why she's got the amulet? Is it amulet? Amulet? So I'm on page 382 of Throne of Glass. I've got maybe less than 20 pages, probably 20 pages to go. I was so suspicious of the princess. I don't know how to feel. Like, is she telling the truth? I don't know what to think. And what's happened to Chaol? Like, I think that's how you say his name, but I need to know what happens to him. Like, is he gone for good now, or is that, like, we need to get him back? I really like him. I've got 20 pages left. I'm gonna have to check in with you guys later. I'm a bit like... 6:30 p.m. on a Tuesday night? Yeah, it's Tuesday the 9th of January. I haven't given you guys an update for my other books. The last time I spoke to you, I just finished Throne of Glass and I was starting Swimming in the Dark, which I probably have just shown you in the video. There's probably been snippets of me either starting, crying, then finishing the book. I probably need to give my thoughts on Throne of Glass and Swimming in the Dark. I'll start with Throne of Glass. I am really getting the hype. I'm getting the hype. Why does it always take me so long to just start these good series? Like, I know that they're well loved for a reason. I did give it a 4 stars, so I definitely am liking this more than Assassin's Blade. I don't think it was a 5-star feeling for me. I wouldn't be sitting there thinking about it every day of my life, but it was definitely a good setup for like what's to come. Dorian is definitely my favorite. I think just like his way of communicating with Selena, I was down bad from the moment that he sent the first note to her demanding her to read the books. I was like, yep, this is my man. I mean, as much as I love him, he had one moment where he made me cringe. He said swagger twice, and I don't know if that's like a fantasy word, but from me growing up in like the early 2000s, LMFAO, party rock anthem, that sort of swagger, like, I don't know, that really made me cringe. I'm just gonna pretend I never saw that page. I did also think as well, this may be a minor spoiler, but I was onto that princess. I thought I was onto the plot point where it was gonna be the plot twist. I knew what was gonna happen. Why do I always think I can outsmart Sarah J Maas? Like, I don't understand why I'm like, yeah, I've got this. I know exactly what's about to happen. Come on, be for real. Like, be fucking for real. Yeah, I didn't guess the ending, and I don't think it was like the most extravagant ending, that's for sure, but it definitely was still like the most intense part of the book for me. I was very on edge of the seat, had to finish it in one go. Then I read Swimming in the Dark. I literally finished Throne of Glass and picked up Swimming in the Dark within 5 minutes of finishing. It was like a 5:30 p.m. on a Saturday night, and I was like, I'm not gonna be on TikTok for the rest of the night. So I started this book. It's my first ever literary fiction book. I was a little bit nervous, but I was also excited because I'd heard such good things about it, and I do love a good romance. I wouldn't say as such that this was highly a romance book. Obviously, it's being literary fiction, but there was romance as a subplot. Check up trigger warnings. Very sad. I did cry. All I can think about was how powerful the words were that this author put together. I had spent so much time on the first night that I was reading. I'd read 150 pages, and usually I could read that probably within like a couple of hours. I spent maybe 3.5 hours because there was just so many times where I'd just stop, think about the paragraph, reread it, then digest it with my partner next to me because I was just so like in love with how they've put everything together and I couldn't just move on straight away. So
It's just one of those books that's so powerful. It almost feels like a love letter, because the way the narration is being told is like a love letter in itself. They're talking as if they're talking to the person. I don't know, it just really hits home, and like when they're speaking about their significant other in such a like high manner of love and care and tenderness, but then also with so much fear and self-doubt. And yeah, it's a really, really moving book. I haven't really explained why it's so moving. Maybe I should go into that, Tash. Yes, that would be really helpful. It's a communist Poland back in the 1980s, and it follows two of the guys. So Ludwig is the main character, who is sort of telling the story in the book, and he is like writing as though he's speaking to Janusz. I think that's how you pronounce it, but I'm probably pronouncing these completely wrong, so I apologize. We also get like a little bit of a background of where Ludwig comes from, and like his family, and his first experiences as like realizing that he is homosexual, and obviously then now realizing as well that in that time and era it is not something that's accepted. So yeah, that is where it all comes from and stems down to, and then it goes through their love story of how they meet and how they fall in love and what happens from there. I'm thinking about giving it a 5-star. It was really amazing, and yeah, I will think about it forever. But yeah, you did see me as well put up on my story to choose the next book because I couldn't choose. So I ended up putting up my story to choose between Ruthless Vows and what was the other one? Two Twisted Crowns. You guys chose Ruthless Vows. I did start the prologue yesterday, haven't finished anything else, and today, yeah, I've just been doing my Notion, which was for my 2024 goals, so I'll show you guys that later. Good morning. I swear to God, I was literally checking with you last night from this exact same spot, and I'm back at the gym again today. Just want to give you an update on Ruthless Vows because I cut it off really short yesterday, and yeah, I didn't really give you much of an explanation. Last night I finally got into Ruthless Vows after a day and a half of only reading the prologue. Last night I read, I think it was maybe 4 chapters, and it just gave me a reminder of why I like Divine Rivals so much. Completely forgot about the dad. He's back in the story. Yeah, it's made me excited to continue on with reading the book today, which I'm gonna do after I finish some editing. So just needed to like force myself to read a few chapters because I was getting in that mind state where you just don't want to read. And I'm like, is it the book or is it me? I need to stay chronically offline when a new book release comes out, because if I see a review and someone says that they hate it, it makes me go, oh, I'm gonna hate it. I don't know why, I've got a problem.
Hey guys, it is, what date is it? Oh my god. I am checking in with you on the 24th of January. I think the last time I checked in with you was probably maybe like 15th. I'm not even kidding, it's probably been 10 days since I last spoke with you with this vlog. I was going into this month thinking I was going to be so productive, have the best month, read so many books, and then this flu or some sickness that I got hit me out of nowhere, and it took me out for about a week and a bit. I was so physically sick that I could not even pick up a book because my brain and my head was just hurting so much. Yeah, it wasn't fun. I can't even remember the last update I've done. I've just started editing the vlog at the start, so I have no idea what the last check-in was with you. I'm just gonna say I'm still at the same place I probably was when I last spoke with you, probably like 4 or 5 chapters in. I haven't even thought about this book. I need to like restart it and just start fresh. But I'm not in the mindset for reading it. I don't know why. I'm just like in a weird headspace since being sick. I just needed something that was like, I don't know, something different, not fantasy, nothing that was gonna hurt my head so much when I was reading. And then I realized I received an ARC for an Omegaverse, which is a dragon Omegaverse, and it was, I'm pretty sure I was meant to do a review a few days ago and I hadn't even got around to reading it. Last night I started it, got up to 75%, and then I finished it this morning. Twilight of Embers by Tessa Hale. You have saved me. I thought I was going into like a massive reading slump. I thought I was never going to be able to pick up a book again for the rest of my life. It was one of those mind states. I started this book, by the way, look at the spine, I mean the edges. And it is an Omegaverse with 5 different guys. I'm pretty sure. It is like a college romance. There is age gap across a few different characters, but most of the guys are around her age. Yeah, she doesn't know that she is a shifter, and it's about her meeting these guys at uni. And yeah, one of them's a professor, one of them's a billionaire who owns a nightclub, one of them's someone in her class, one of them's a senior, one of them's a sophomore. There's just a lot going on, but it was so much fun. I don't know if I was just in the right mindset for like something spicy, something fun, something a bit different. I really enjoyed it, and you know what, it's kind of got me back into like the reading mindset that I want to be in, so it did its job. Quite frankly, I feel like I might even give it like a 4-star. I've really enjoyed it. It was a slow burn as well, so this is probably about 230 pages. 250 pages. Hardly any spice really happened, and as much as like there's like obviously the tension and all that stuff building, like there wasn't actually that much spice. So, but with it being quite short and there being multiple books, I think it's going to be a trilogy. Yeah, like it's just building up the momentum, meeting all the characters, and I actually really liked all of the characters. Like one guy I was sort of a bit like, you're alright, but the rest of them I'm like, they're decent characters. It was sort of like Omegaverse meets like Sarah Kate in like a slow burn but then fantasy way. The female main character, like usually I do get like pick me vibes from like these sorts of books, but she wasn't really that pick me. She was a bit confused about everything that was going on, but she was just like drawn to them, obviously with it being an Omegaverse, that she's like fated with these men. So it didn't really seem pick me because she's sort of so confused as to why she's like feels protective over these guys, and that was what I was like, oh, like this is kind of like different to like the other ones. I don't regret any second of it. I don't regret any second of it. Loved it. 4 stars. Probably gonna end up the vlog here because I have no idea what this vlog was. Like there was my Christmas trip down to Cornwall, then was got my birthday spent together going to York, which was a weird trip, and then I went into a reading vlog, and now it's finished up with me being sick for a week and having no idea where it's ended up. And yeah, this was just like a complete mess. We're just gonna round this up. If you're still here with me by the end of this video, I thank you and I appreciate you. If you liked today's video, please give a like or a comment down below, and if you aren't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.